The number is 88 million. 88 million ounces of real, physical silver against 500 million ounces of paper promises. 5 people, 1 chair, and in 48 hours, everyone has to sit down at the same time. This is what a default looks like before anyone calls it a default. It is 4 a.m. Most of the world is asleep. Trading floors are quiet. Anchors are off air. And deep inside a vault network in the New York metro area, a number is changing. Quietly, persistently, without a single headline. That number is the registered silver inventory at COMEX. The actual, physical, deliverable metal sitting behind every paper contract traded on the world's largest precious metals exchange. 5 years ago, 532 million ounces. Today, 88 million. That's a 75% collapse, and it is still draining every single session. And in exactly 48 hours on February 27th, the clock runs out. I'm John Ogg, and this is John Ogg Reports. This channel has never sold you a single thing. No courses, no signals, no memberships. Just the map before the destination is visible to everyone else. Subscribe right now if you are new here. What is about to happen in this market has not happened before. Not like this. Not with these numbers. Not with this combination of forces. Stay with me, because this is going to move fast and 48 hours is not a long time. Let's start with the raw data, because the numbers are extraordinary, and they deserve to be stated clearly before any interpretation. As of February 20th, 2026 total COMEX silver inventories, 366 million ounces, down nearly 31%, from 532 million in October 2025. In 4 months, registered silver, the metal actually available for contract delivery, 88 million ounces. On February 11th alone, a single-day withdrawal of 3.25 million ounces from registered stocks. That was the day COMEX fell below 100 million ounces for the first time, ever. Same 24 hours, another 4.7 million pulled from eligible inventory. Now hold those numbers against what's sitting on the other side. 500 million ounces of open paper claims on the March 2026 contract. 5 paper claims for every single physical ounce. In a market that was architecturally designed, deliberately, intentionally designed on the assumption that almost nobody would ever ask for real metal. That assumption is breaking, not slowly, not theoretically, measurably, documentably, in the public data, right now. Here's what I need you to understand before we go further, because this is the part that changes everything. This is not about whether silver goes up or down in price next week. This is about whether the exchange can physically fulfill what it has contractually promised. Those are 2 completely different questions. And the second one is the one nobody on financial television is asking. Keep watching, because in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why February 27th is specifically dangerous, not just structurally stressed. February 27th is first notice day, not the delivery day, the declaration day. This is the moment when every entity holding an open March position has to declare, in writing, do you want physical silver or will you walk away with cash? In a normal market, almost everyone walks away with cash. Historically, physical delivery demand is 1 to 3% of open interest. That's what the entire system was built for. The vault size, the logistics, the rulebook, all of it calibrated around that assumption. Now look at what actually happened in February 2026. 98% of contracts stood for physical delivery, not 1 to 3. 98%. December 2025, 47 million ounces, claimed in 4 trading days, roughly 60% of all available silver inventory at the time. Historical December deliveries had been 10 to 20 million. They printed more than double the high end of historical norms. And it's not random, it's a pattern. Month after month, the percentage of holders demanding physical metal instead of cash rollover has been climbing, and each time it climbs, registered inventory falls further. 2 lines converging, and the intersection is Thursday. Now here's the coverage math, and I want you to run this yourself because the arithmetic is simple. If 25 to 30% of March open interest stands for delivery, which is conservative given the February 98% precedent, physical demand would be 125 to 150 million ounces. Registered supply entering that window, 88 million. The gap, 40 to 70 million ounces short. Even at 20% standing for delivery, the exchange does not have enough metal. This is the number that has not appeared on financial television. Not because it's unknown, because stating it plainly creates a question that has no comfortable institutional answer. What happens when a futures exchange cannot physically deliver on its contract? Before I go further, I want to acknowledge the counter-argument directly, because the standard take on this story is incomplete. Most coverage gives you the fear side without the other half of the argument. Here at John Ogg Reports, That's not how we operate. So let me walk you through what the managed resolution case actually looks like, the strongest version of it. Then I'll show you exactly why 2026 is structurally different from every prior episode the exchange has managed. First, margin hikes. This weapon is real, and it works fast. In January, when silver pressed toward $121 per ounce, CME implemented cascading margin increases, currently sitting at 60%, that drove silver from $121 to below $80 in under 48 hours. Forced liquidation at scale. They can do it again. Thursday. Second, eligible to registered conversion. Right now, there are hundreds of millions of ounces in COMEX-approved warehouses that are stored but not designated for delivery. If the owners of that metal choose to flip it to registered status, the supply picture changes materially and fast. Third, roll forward incentives. If March experiences delivery stress, the exchange can encourage holders to roll to May contracts in exchange for preferential positioning. May becomes the pressure valve. And fourth precedent, COMEX has managed every prior delivery crisis. The rulebook can change mid-game. Force majeure clauses exist. Cash settlement at spot price is an option. The exchange has shown repeatedly that it will change the rules before it allows a visible default. These are not weak arguments. They are real. They matter. And they are still not sufficient to make this 4-8-hour window irrelevant. Here's why. What has changed in 2026 is the simultaneous convergence of conditions that were never all present at the same time in any prior stress episode. 1. 5 consecutive years of global silver deficit. The Silver Institute estimates a cumulative shortfall of roughly 820 million ounces between 2021 and 2025, nearly a full year of global mine production. A 6th consecutive deficit projected for this year. 2. China's strategic designation of silver. Exports now restricted to 44 state-approved companies. The global silver market has effectively fractured into 3 islands, Asia, North America, and Europe, each fighting over the metal it can control. Supply that used to flow globally no longer flows. 3. Industrial users bypassing the exchange entirely. Samsung and Tesla are now securing physical silver through direct deals with miners, completely bypassing COMEX. When the largest industrial consumers of your commodity decide the exchange cannot be trusted to deliver, that is not a sentiment signal, that is a structural indictment. 4. Mine supply is locked. Even at current prices, new silver production cannot come online for 7 to 10 years minimum. The supply curve is essentially fixed through the early 2030s. 5. The monetary and geopolitical backdrop. Gold hit $5,200 per ounce on February 24th. A 15% flat tariff on all global imports, a military standoff near the Strait of Hormuz at deployment levels not seen since 2003. Capital is rotating hard away from paper assets toward physical ones in the specific 4-8-hour window before the most consequential silver delivery deadline in this market's history. None of these 5 conditions existed simultaneously in 1980. None of them existed simultaneously in 2021. This is not the same stress episode the exchange has managed before. This is 5 separate stress vectors firing at the same time. The toolbox was built for one fire at a time. I want you to pause right here and think about what you now know. 88 million ounces, 500 million paper claims, 98% standing for physical last month, 5 consecutive deficit years, industrial users who have already given up on the exchange delivering, and 48 hours until declaration day. The thesis is not complicated. The data is public. The arithmetic is arithmetic. Let me show you exactly what to watch Thursday and where to find it yourself. 3 data points. Thursday. In this order. 1. The Vault Report. CME Group publishes daily vault data on their public website. Watch the registered inventory number. A sharp drop Thursday morning is confirmation that the stress is real and escalating. 2. Delivery notice data. Posted the same day they are filed. This tells you exactly how many holders stood for physical. If that number approaches or exceeds 20% of open interest, the coverage math has failed. 3. The overnight silver open. Watch where silver opens after first notice day closes. A gap up on extreme volume is the market repricing the structural risk. A gap down on margin hike news is the exchange deploying the toolbox. Both moves are informative. Neither is necessarily the end of the story. No Bloomberg terminal required. No paid subscription. No insider access. CME's website, the Silver Institute's annual reports, China's Ministry of Commerce export whitelist. Everything in this video is sitting in public primary data available right now to anyone willing to look before someone on television explains what already happened. Here's where I want your honest take. Not the easy answer, the real one. Does the exchange manage this? Margin hikes, eligible to registered conversion, coordinated role incentives, and March becomes a stress event with a managed resolution, just like every prior episode? Or does the combination of a 75% inventory drain, a 5-to-1 paper coverage ratio, a 98% February delivery rate, industrial users who have already walked away from the exchange, and a sixth consecutive supply deficit represent something the existing toolbox genuinely cannot contain this time? Drop your analysis in the comments. I read every single one. If the argument is worth building on, we build on it together. The numbers just turned dangerous. 48 hours. This is financial education, not advice, not signals. Verify before you act. Invest with logic, not hype. This is John Ogg Reports.